Hi everyone, got a little bit of MIG mania going on at the field here today. So second test video of the day. This is the again the SunnySky Edge R2305 2800 kV motor, which I just tested for the first time a couple of days ago. Anyway, I've done a bit more bench testing and found that the Turnigy AE-45 amp speed controller on the custom settings that I've initially found for a lot of the motors allows it to really open up a bit more at full throttle. Very tiny increase at mid throttle, but about a 35 gram increase at full throttle. However, it's made it pretty amp hungry, but we'll see how hard we can push this 45 amp speed controller. So here we go, let's give her a rip. Okay. Oh yeah, I would say I do notice the power. This is actually a little bit draggier plane than the gray MIG because I built it with slightly thicker foam. Oh yeah, that seriously winds out. Nice. So again, running the 6x4 EPC gas prop, 3S battery. The custom settings are 22.5 degrees timing, 24 kilohertz on the PWM. Oh yeah, no problem at all on the climb out. Yeah, so I'm not noticing a big difference at mid-range, but I do notice, you know, even with a a slightly draggier plane, I do notice the increase in power at top end. So like I said, she's amp hungry. She's pulling on the bench. She pulled 45 amps at full throttle with this setup. But yeah, she's really winding out. You know, so 1,065 grams, that's pretty darn good. You know, that puts it right up there in the ballpark, very close to the Emax 2306, which is kind of leading the pack right now in the really super powerful quad racing motors I've tested to this point. But it puts it right in there in the same ballpark as the B-Rotor 2207 2780 and the Foxier Datura 2206 2700. Yeah, she just screams. Okay, so let me adjust the throttle here, make sure I'm at 60%. Pretty decent. Good acceleration, good punch. Yeah, lots of torque. Not lagging. It's actually probably accelerating. I mean, you know, I'm about halfway through this battery now, pushing it pretty hard. And, you know, the motor's still giving me lots of power. You know, and with this plane weighing about 19.5, under 20 ounces, with, what is it, 37.7 ounces of thrust at full throttle. I mean, it's getting, you know, ridiculously close to 2-to-1 thrust to weight ratio at full throttle. And even though this isn't quite punching out the same power as some of those other motors that I mentioned at mid-range, it actually feels, when I fly it, it actually feels maybe a little bit better than what the bench numbers say. I know that sounds that doesn't sound like it makes a lot of sense, but sometimes, you know, I found you get a plane out to the field and, or, you know, get the motor out to the field and it actually performs sometimes, you know, hopefully better, sometimes worse. But anyway, I think what I'm going to do now, oh, I should actually, let's check this and see. I've been sitting here gabbing. I should have checked this right away. I'll get that unplugged. Cut my finger off. All right. So yeah, that speed controller is warm. It's not today. I think it's about 4. Right now, it's about 4 or 5 degrees Celsius. I don't know the Fahrenheit conversion off the top of my head right now, but yeah, it's certainly warmer than how when I've run it with other motors that are pulling, you know, on the bench we're pulling high 30s. But actually, that motor is like super cool. There's no heat build up in that motor at all. So that's pretty impressive. So yeah, a little bit of heat in the, but you know, I think even in the summertime, you know, that would be okay. I mean, obviously in these flights here, I'm you know, I'm ripping her pretty hard. But yeah, so yeah, even better performance, I think, with that Turnigy AE with some different settings. But like I said, I'm going to go back. I've got to do some more playing around with the Samguk motor that I tested in my last video with this with the Turnigy AE. So we'll play around with that a little bit more with this one as well, and see if we can't bring that that mid-range power up. All of the best motors, the best performance for the way that I like to fly so far, have all had like 600 grams of thrust at mid-throttle or more, and 1,000 or more at top end. But you know, that's just for how I like to fly. So if we can get this up you know, close to 600 grams thrust mid-range, but either way, it's right there in the ballpark with a lot of these other speedy little beastie motors. But anyway, having a ton of fun testing it. So more bench testing to come, and then you know, probably get out here to the field. So but this will actually be good for this 45 amp speed controller to really evaluate it and push it hard with this setup right now. You know, pushing it closer to its limits and see how it works out. So thanks for watching, folks. Blue skies, calm winds to everyone. Park jet noise, the other sound of freedom, baby. Take care.